Hi, I'm Kahea Zietz with Hawaii Life Vacations, and you're listening to the Gratitude Radio Network.
Hi, everyone, and we are simulcasting here on the Total Media Network's Neil Haley Show and Your Beautiful Day on the Gratitude Radio Network, and I'm excited to welcome to the program the hosts of this show, Pearl Sharenza, and again, Mother of Gratitude, Jenn. Jenn, thanks again for stopping by. Looking forward to our amazing guest, and it's so amazing when you told me about how big a fan of you are of the show.
Aloha, everyone. Yeah, I'm so excited about this. This was definitely on my bucket list, not just to interview, but to actually go there one day. I would love to be on the show and be picking out any type of real estate, because Hawaii life is just always been one of my favorite things on TV.
Awesome.
And welcome to Your Beautiful Day, where we hope to give you gratitude in every part of your life, or just a little bit on the way. And who cannot have more gratitude for Hawaii life than Kahea? Welcome.
Thank you. Aloha.
Aloha. I wish I was in Hawaii, especially being in Pittsburgh. I've never been. I've been in a lot of places all over the world and never Hawaii. So I'll have to put that on my bucket list at one point.
This is for you, then, Neil. This is for you. You had me at Aloha. When I found out that you were coming on this show, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to do the studio all in Hawaii. And then we have a tropical storm coming, so I decided.
So she had to end up having to do it Zoom. It's just we think we're getting back into normal, and then that new normal doesn't happen.
So. And then a tropical storm, yeah. Exactly.
Awesome. So Jenn, I know you have your first question for her.
Oh, okay, great. Tell us about Hawaii, growing up there, and about yourself and real estate.
Sure. Well, let's see. I don't want to let you down, but I didn't grow up in Hawaii. However, my dad did. And it's actually funny. It's a cute story. My dad grew up on the north shore of Kauai and in a beach called Hgtv, which is very near to where I live. And my mom was born and raised on the Big Island in Honokaa. And in their early 20s, they both moved to San Francisco, and they met in San Francisco. And from there, they had 5 kids, and they moved us to Oakland, and then later on into the Valley. And then as kids grew up and graduated, we all slowly moved back to Hawaii. But now, out of 5 kids, I'm the only one still living here. And I live on the north shore of Kauai.
Oh my.
So out of everywhere that you've lived, you keep coming back to Hawaii?
Yeah. And we were very much raised in the Hawaiian custom. Since I was 3 or 4, we were part of a halau, which is basically a Hawaiian and dance group. And we competed heavily throughout San Francisco and Walnut Creek, Northern and Southern California. So we grew up very much in the Hawaiian custom. So then when I moved back to Hawaii, it still felt like home.
That is so sweet.
Yeah.
You had all the dances down, everything.
We had all the dances down. Oh, I could show you all the talent shows that my family took over in elementary school.
So for those that are listening, when I was little, when I was 4, we moved from Athens, Georgia to Winter Park. And we happened to stay in a hotel that was all Hawaiian. It was like the Mac Daddy Hotel. It was gorgeous with all the tikis everywhere and all the Hawaii themed. And we moved into this house, and next door to us was a Hawaiian family. I mean, it couldn't have been perfect. So I kind of grew up with the influences. So anytime there's anything on TV about Hawaii, I always look at the background. But now I can watch Hawaii Life and see everything.
Yeah. Did you think that the show would be that successful? when you first started it, being part of it?
I was a little skeptical, honestly. Yes, because I believe that we live in a destination where everybody dreams about being. It's warm, it's fun. We have this beautiful lifestyle. But, from our side, seeing it, from where I sit behind the camera, I wasn't sure. But, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, who doesn't want to be in Hawaii?
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
And it's spiritual. It's very spiritual there, too.
Mm-hmm. And what's great about the show is that you see bits and pieces of all the islands, and it's very much of a lifestyle. And so you get to see the different buyers that come through and what they're drawn to Hawaii for, and what their means of work is. Whether they're a school teacher, or if they can work remotely, or if they're in the construction business. So you can really see how all these different backgrounds come to Hawaii, and it's definitely possible.
That's what I love. I love that exactly what you shared. Those are the things that I love about the shows, because I get to see different pieces of the island. And as I've vacationed there before, I've done my honeymoon there, and then we went and took my aunt and some family there with us to show them how much we love the island. And that's what I love about the show, is kind of looking and being able to see different areas, because our goal is to go back. Our kids our boys are graduating from college and such. So our goal is to go back and visit, and we've always wanted to invest in there. So it's been fun to watch the show. The fun part for me is like watching, going, I would have picked this one and not that one. It's interesting, right. The mindset of people. And when you work with the clients that are coming over, do you notice that? Like, you think they're going to look at they're going to go for this one. And all of a sudden their mindset is totally different than what you thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because you live in Hawaii for a lifestyle, and it all depends on what your priorities are. And it's interesting, the priorities you would think that they are probably a little bit different over here. It's more about maybe the view or your space, and less about, being close to shopping and dining and,
right.
and things like that.
For your experience in rentaling and being in rental and Airbnb, did you see your background before that, the experience of showing places and renting them? Did you have that background before coming to Hawaii?
No. So let's see, I've been in the rental industry for about 20 years, and I actually started as a secretary in one of our in another real estate office, and I immediately saw this need for absentee owners with property management. And so we developed that, and then in 2010 I joined Hawaii Life, and then developed their property management rental division, and now we've grown to a statewide inventory, and we also offer long-term rentals. So the vast majority of our homeowners are absentee homeowners, and they need assistance for people on the island to care for their home. And in turn, we sort of have this two-sided marketplace where we help the tenants, we help them find tenants, we help them with their investment. So in terms of looking at real estate, you look at it a little differently. You think about somebody that's been coming to Hawaii, and you think about what their dream is and what their dream vacation might look like, and what they're looking for. And typically they want to be near to the ocean, they want to see the ocean, they want to hear the ocean, they want that experience. So if you're looking at a home, it's more about the location and their experience versus how big the square footage is, or how many bedrooms there might be, because all different types of families and couples come, so you can make something fit for any sort of rental, right?
Oh, wow. All right, Jen, next question.
Thanks. So with the rentals in Hawaii, how long are the long-term rentals?
Long terms are typically 6 months, 180 days, no less than 180 days. And then anything less than that is considered short-term rentals.
Okay. So if I wanted to rent for a year and get my bearings and see where I wanted to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very common. Yeah, we get that asked a lot.
Do you think it's easier for people to actually rent homes there than it is to buy them? As far as the market, like if I wanted to rent a house, would it be better for me to rent a house than it would be to have two homes?
Gosh,
I'm
that's a
bound
good
in the
question.
States, but I'm bound, over there because it seems like it's going to be a jump. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you're in the interim, I think it comes down to what your circumstances are, because we do get that very often. And what we get is we get the person that says, I'm thinking about moving, I'm not quite sure where I want to be. How about I rent for a year and let me feel it out? Let me live on the North Shore for a year. Let me see how that feels. And if I don't like it, then maybe I'll go rent for the South Shore. And then in the meantime, they're looking for purchase. That's typically what happens.
Nice.
But in terms of being easier, I honestly can't say that, because the rental market's extremely tight on all islands.
Interesting.
I think knowing we had a rental place ourselves before, and we lived in a different state, and having a company that's managing it, I think, is such a benefit for the homeowner. That's because there's so many things that happen and come up, and if you don't know and you're not there, you got to figure all those pieces of the pie out. Or having somebody like you that's managing it and overseeing it, you would agree it's a great benefit. It's worth the investment to hire somebody like you to say, we're going to manage it over here for you. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And especially right now when there's a travel ban and, owners can't come, nobody can come. And so these homes are sitting empty. You need someone that's, taking care of your property. And not only do we rent your home, but our first priority is taking care of your investment.
Yeah.
When did you see the growth of the industry, property management like this with homes?
The growth?
Yeah, the growth. When did this really start to really pick up big time? I mean, you talk about the history of Airbnb before, and
yeah, I would probably say it really started to take off in, I'd say 2004, 2005, basically with the internet. As soon as the internet became more accessible and websites were better developed, there was a huge influx of vacation rentals over hotels. We then had a platform to be able to advertise them, and people had an option.
So you didn't have to any longer go and mail. You were telling us a story about your friend that would mail out postcards, right?
Right. Well, that was before my time.
Oh,
that was before my time. That's one of my really great friends who runs another property management business. She tells that story all the time, and I love it. I couldn't imagine right now having to do that.
No.
That is funny. How has the show impacted life in Hawaii or real estate sales?
That's a great question. That might be a better question for Matt. But in terms of it impacting, life in Hawaii or real estate sales, I think it's given people a hope that there's an opportunity that they can come and be part of our community, and they get to see, this beautiful life that we have, and it really is fantastic. I mean, it's no joke. We're not, what you see on the camera, it really is like our lifestyle. And I think in terms of real estate, it creates a demand. And we're seeing it now where so many people want to escape the big cities, and they want to escape the dense cities, and they want to come out here to where there's more space. So we've always had a very large demand for whether it's rentals or people coming over here to purchase and make a full life change.
You discussed that travel ban. How's that impacted you? You said with the rentals, it's kind of shut things down in a lot of ways. That's been a challenge for you, for sure. Not expecting.
We have a visitor quarantine, a 14-day visitor quarantine right now. That's through June 30th. And the governor did just pass that they're going to allow inter-island travel between starting on June 15th. And they did say they're going to extend our Trans-Pacific travel ban, not travel ban, but visitor quarantine through the end of July. And until then, our short-term vacation rentals are shut down. So it's been challenging. You know, obviously we have a lot of frustrated homeowners who are used to earning revenue through their property, and not so much the revenue, but for the protection of property. It's very humid here. Our environment is extremely rough on homes. So as these homes, as they're used, they need to be used. Otherwise, if they just sit, things start to deteriorate. So both in terms of the protection of the home and the revenue that the owners are used to, it's been challenging, and we're hopeful that it's going to lift soon.
Sure.
But, you know, it's where we have a very cultural society as well. So, you know, and we appreciate it, but it's about protecting our local residents and keeping our community safe. We have very limited resources, so we have to be extremely careful about how we open back up. We can't let the floodgates in, and then we can't be in a place where we have high cases, because we just don't have the resources to help everyone.
You brought up a good point. I didn't think about that being over here in Florida. I forget Hawaii has different islands, and that you wouldn't even be able to travel between the islands. So that was huge impact, I'm sure, for you.
Right. I mean, personally, it's been great. You know, the beaches are less crowded. The roads are less crowded. We have time on our hands. I see people out walking, biking. Everyone's surfing. Everyone's at the beach. The beaches were closed for a while, so that was difficult. But they're open now. And restaurants opened last night. You know, bars and restaurants are open. Salons are open. Boutiques are open.
Sounds like
we're starting to see things opening. We just need some visitors now.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping we get back to travel the way it was, or close to the way it was. And
right.
And it'll be interesting, again, to see the next couple months. Are we going to see a spike or not? And for travel, I feel bad for anyone in that industry, or even in the rental industry. But you told me real estate had a little bit of a stop, but now it's back running again, full-fledged, right?
Right. Yeah, there's still transactions happening.
Yeah. But again, probably the same thing where they did shut down for a month, and that's different. That's weird for everybody in so many ways. Yeah. Well, all right, Jen, next question.
My next question is, are there any homes that are completely off the grid that you can live without the electricity and solar powered everything, just to completely, do you have any like green communities?
Absolutely. Yes, there's absolutely some homes out there that offer that lifestyle. Just
completely off the grid. I love that. I absolutely. I used to have a house in the Bahamas, and so we didn't have electric a lot, you know,
right.
In and out. But if you're on the beach, you don't need it really so much.
Right. They might not necessarily be on the beach. They might be up more in the mountains or in the valley, but yes, that they're available. And I agree with you. That would be the goal.
What are some of the technologies for those homes?
Exactly what you said. Solar, wells, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, it's okay. Gas powered generators. Yeah.
So everything that's green that you guys have in those communities. I think that's amazing. I think that's great.
Right.
Especially for that. What was your favorite thing growing up? What was your favorite part of Hawaii? Like your favorite memory of being there?
My favorite memory as a child when my parents would bring us back to visit would be obviously the beach. We would go to the beach, and some of our beaches have these great rivers that, you know, flow out into the ocean, and a lot of times there's, you know, rope swings on them. And so I just remember as a child just playing in the ocean and then going into the river and being on this rope swing, and we would be out there for hours, or, you know, taking the canoe and paddling out to the point. I remember our big family luau's and our big gatherings. There would just be so many people and the best food and music and dancing. It's very happy. It's a very happy memory.
Mm-hmm.
The beach. Go, Pearl. And then I'll ask a question about the beach.
So I was just going to ask, so if, because I love the beaches there too, if I was coming on a vacation, so I've been to Honolulu and I've been to Kauai and Maui, but if I want to come again to Hawaii and I wanted to go someplace that didn't have all the tourist stuff and just wanted to enjoy the island and the peacefulness and tranquility of the island, what would you suggest I look at? What areas?
You would want to find the most remote areas. So, and each island has a different area.
What's your favorite?
In my opinion, it would be, the North Shore of Kauai. On Maui, possibly Hana, right? And Hana it's about a 2-hour drive to get there, but it's completely remote. It's like you're going back in time. It's so beautiful. It's so lush. We had the opportunity a couple of years as a company to go stay over there. And it was my first experience, and it was incredible. It's quiet. I slowed down. I very rarely slow down, but for a couple of days, we just took it down a notch. And so Hana, so you'd want to find areas that are just outside of the resort areas. And I can help you do that. I can help you find a place.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Trust me.
Yeah.
Now, talking about beaches, how would you compare Hawaii's beaches to other beaches? The difference, like I don't know other beaches you were on in your life, but looking at the difference, what makes Hawaii's beach so special?
Well, obviously the warmer waters.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
The surf, those are the obvious factors. We typically we have less crowded beaches.
Oh.
They're very accessible. We don't pay to park. At least on Kauai, we don't pay to park. On Oahu, there's some areas where it's a little bit more difficult and there's a parking situation. Most times you can just literally drive right up to the sand and get out of the car and you're, a couple feet from the water. Honolulu, for example, it's a 2-mile crescent-shaped bay, and just right behind the bay, there's the most beautiful mountain range. And if you paddle out and you look back at the mountains, you don't know really what to look at. What's more beautiful is, should I look out towards the ocean or should I look at the mountains? Because it's mesmerizing. So I think that's probably what's a little different. It's our valleys, it's our mountains, and everything's just so lush, and it just changes at different times of the day. It could look like one thing in the morning, and then you go back out in the evening, it's completely different.
I could just picture it, especially when I don't know if I'll be going to the beach this year, especially with losing certain days for trips and things like that, and now sports going into the whole heart of the summer. It'll be interesting to see. But definitely love to take that vacation trip. My whole family, be a very expensive trip with 6 kids to there, like the Brady Bunch going to Hawaii. That's what I see when I remember the Brady Bunch trips to Hawaii. I forget other shows that they've chosen Hawaii as their place.
Neil, I have a funny story. So when we did that trip about 10 years ago, we took our family. We had gone up to the mountain to see the sunrise and over there in Maui. And on the way back down, we stopped at like some of the volcano areas, the little tourist things. And so I picked up this lava rock, right? So I bring it and it's in my luggage. And Jen's shaking her head. It's in my luggage. So I don't know that you're not, I don't know all the, the rules and stuff. So I'm at the airport getting ready to go home, and I hear this man talking to this family, and the family's talking about, yeah, we got this rock, and he's like, that's bad luck, you shouldn't do that, and it's just going on, and I'm just sitting there, I'm looking at my husband going, I told you we shouldn't have taken that rock. I told you we shouldn't have taken that rock. And we still have it to this day on our desk here. But if I couldn't get it out of the luggage, it was down in the plane on the luggage. But when you said that, I always thought about the Brady Bunch thing too.
You have it on your desk right now.
It's here on my husband's desk somewhere. So I think it's actually over on his shelf.
Where is
it? I can't find it. It's on the shelf over here somewhere. It's got it hidden on me.
You don't mess with that. No. There's some parts you don't go into, right?
Right.
Right.
You have to announce yourself before you go in, is what I was told.
Mm-hmm.
What I was sharing earlier, like if there's one bucket list item that I tell all my friends are going, especially if they're going to Maui, is to go. I think it's the bike ride to Hana, Kahea. I think that's where I was at, and so
or Haleakala, maybe.
What was it?
Haleakala.
Yes, that's what it was. So you could take a bike up to, they'll pick you up in a van, then you bike down the mountain. And so they'd forgotten to pick us up. So we went and took our car and we went up, and it was November. I had no clue that Hawaii got snow. We went through snow going up that mountain. And we got there. It is the most beautiful sunrise I will never, ever forget in my lifetime. You are above the clouds and watching that sun comes up,
wow.
you know there's a God. And so I always tell my friends, if there's one thing you're going to do, you've got to do that bucket list item.
Sounds like a seminar we need to put together, Pearl.
I gotcha.
And it sounds like you agree as well. Now, talking about the show, how about your fans? What do you want to say to your fans that have been watching and the feedback you're getting from your fans?
Well, keep watching. We're gonna, we just wrapped up a season, and we're going to start shooting for the fall and winter season. And so obviously the audience is going to change, our buyers are going to change. There's going to be some new brokers on. So there'll be some fresh faces. Matt and I will still be there, but there'll be some new brokers, and they always show different parts of the island. So hopefully we can show you something more exciting.
Now, what about the interaction with the fans? Is it nice to get feedback from the fans and stuff about what you've done? You and Matt getting emails or social, all that stuff. What is it? How much was that to get used to? You're always used to dealing with customers, but now you're dealing with fans. How do you deal with them? That's a different dealing with, right? Questions they want to ask you, or different things, and your social media stuff get flooded with different things. How do you kind of interact with them in that way?
We always have a positive voice, and for the most part, everybody is so grateful, and they love the show. It's funny, when we were chatting earlier, you said we were celebrities, and we really don't look at ourselves as that. It's just I'm more of like, I'm a broker in the real estate company, and I'm helping out with did I go away? Yeah. Helping out with the show, and our fans are great. They, it makes you appreciate Hawaii more, and to see it through their eyes, and to see their perspective and how much they appreciate it. It definitely makes you want to keep going. When we shoot, we often shoot in public spaces, and it's a very small crew, but we have people watching and standing by, and then occasionally when we're out in public, they might notice us, and the brokers are noticed as being on the show, and I think that's fun. It's a really fun element.
I think that's the thing, and it's until you have that success in that way. You've always had your business success, definitely from running a property management, but now being known worldwide, how to get used to that. And then you're staying grounded in certain ways, but if you really knew all the fans that watch you, especially two that are on right now, it's not saying I'm not a fan. I just, again, I'm a binge watcher, and when I have time to watch, but I definitely will be tuning in. But the thing is, it's just that interactivity with your fans. That's what makes it. If the fans don't watch, you don't have a show anymore.
Yeah, I think it's great. My parents watch it. My dad records it. And my daughter, she's 8, she loves it, and I think it's great.
She's definitely staying grounded. All right, Jen, next question.
That's funny. My question was, how did you guys get with Hgtv? Did Hgtv come to you, or how did Hawaii Life manifest?
Gosh, I think that's a Matt question, but I'll do the best to answer it. They asked us, and we pitched it, and that was it. It just became a hit. It just, one season, and then another season, and I believe I jumped on maybe a year after the first season, the first 1 or 2 seasons.
Wow.
And it just keeps going.
And
Like I said, it's when someone gets the property that I want them to get, because I'm in it, you know. I mean, I had a real estate license and I realized it's not for me. But when I see Hawaii, when I see people come on, and I'm like, ooh, what are they gonna get? You know, as a real estate person, it's like, ooh, what are they gonna get now? And if they don't get the house, I'm like, no, you know, but if they get it, it's like a game show, and I feel like I won.
Right. Yeah. And you know, the greatest thing about it is that it's a show, but it's very real. You know, after the fact, you know, we still see the buyers and they're still living in the house, and they really are doing the things that they love to do, and they really are working where they said they were working. It's a very real show.
As real as it can be, right?
It really is. Yeah. It's not scripted.
Oh, definitely not scripted, but again, organization, planned out, being ready, the preparation time. It takes a long time to prepare for a show, right? But the production, but also on your end.
Oh my gosh.
Matt and your end, and how to prepare yourselves to work with them. That's not script, but it's more, hey, this is what you have to be on time. This is when we're shooting, all those different things. There's a lot of logistics involved for being on a show like HGTV. Would you say?
I'm sorry. Ask me that one more time.
Logistics wise, like the prep, for a shoot. And all
for the most part, we have to travel. We travel to the inner islands for the shoots. Yeah, it's, you know, it doesn't come natural for me. It's actually a whole lot harder than it looks. Matt makes it look really easy. It takes me quite a while to get through the day.
And so when they first asked you,
and they're really patient, and they're great to work with.
So when they asked you to be part of the show, were you kind of like, I don't know, at first when they asked you?
I think I said yes immediately. Okay. You know, I'm a yes person, so I'm like, sure, I'll try it out.
Sure, I'll get up at 5 a.m. That's okay.
Sure, yeah.
I love this idea that I just came up with, right? But I of course, you know, somebody's saying that. I'm pitching fans watching Hawaii Life, you know, to have like little fans like they're doing now with celebrities watching other shows and getting their reaction.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be hilarious for the fans.
That would be great. That's a good idea.
Fans' reaction to some of these. So some, you know, oh, they're going to have the llamas over there, and here's the chickens over here, or that, you know, these people want to be right on the beach with their feet in the sand, and they need to be $50,000 more, you know.
Yeah.
So how does somebody, if they're interested in like getting on the show, is there a process to that? What would you suggest to somebody who's looking at that?
Yeah, we have, there's someone within our company that organizes that, and basically it comes from the brokers. So the brokers will, you know, ask, you know, do you have any buyers that are interested in being on the show? And a lot of buyers, clients are really interested. It's fun for them. There's definitely activities involved, as you know from watching the show, and so they get to spend a day doing the activities of choice and going back and looking at the homes. And that's basically it's, you know, no one's forced to be on it, but there's a lot of people that have a good time.
There are a lot of applicants just or asking to be on, that you have to go through the team to figure out who would be the right fit.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely, you know, when people are going through the purchase process, like, are we going to be on the show?
Yeah.
So,
that's a bigger in, right? No.
Yeah.
I'm going down the street if they don't put me on the show.
And we talked about Matt and selling, but what about for your property management part of the division? Has that helped grow it even further? We talked about real estate, Matt, that's a Matt question, but for you, and how many of them, once you show them a property or you're part of it, they say, I know who you are. They might have not even thought about it. And then they say, oh, and does that help in that process to get more and more people that are interested in renting and interested in being to rent?
Yeah, right. Yeah, the purpose of the show is not to promote for them to turn their home into a rental or a vacation rental, but circumstances change and people might need to move. We also have some pretty strict legislation in the state, and it's different per island. So depending on whatever the legislation is, they might be able to short-term rent, or they might be able to long-term rent, in which case I'd be able to help them. Me being on the show, it just makes them aware that we have the division, and that if the opportunity is available, or if it's a direction that they need to move in, then we're there to help them.
Gotcha.
So so to answer your question, yes, it benefits the rental division because it makes them more aware that we have those services available to homeowners.
Another question, Pearl, do you have, or Jen? Either?
Pearl?
So I mortgage rates, because I used to have a mortgage background. What's the mortgage rates in Hawaii versus like over here on the other side of the state? Is it pretty much the same? Or are you seeing anything different? I know you do the rental side, but are you seeing that?
Right. Next question. Next. Okay, from what I know, they are still low. And I'm not going to speak numbers because I don't want to misquote, but I'm from what I'm aware is that yes, they're holding strong and they're still low.
Good. So it hasn't been a big hit for you guys. That's awesome.
Right.
Good.
What are some of the trends that you're seeing, that you're experiencing, or are you expecting after all of this?
I may have mentioned it before, but we're expecting the floodgates to open. I think people are pent up, and I don't think it's just for Hawaii. I think it's for everywhere. Maybe a drive-to destination. I think people want to come here, and Hawaii has a huge following, as you know, and we have loyal visitors, and they want to come here as soon as they can, and they're less concerned about health. I wouldn't say safety, but they're less concerned about maybe contracting the virus through travel than they are just getting here. And everybody's been extremely respectful, knowing that if they come into our place, into our environment, that they're going to be, mindful if they're sick that they won't come. We're definitely promoting that, sort of a stay safe, stay aloha, where we want you to come, but we want you to be mindful that if you're sick, please don't come. Please get tested before you come. I know our government is working on some sort of plan to open up visitor quarantine so that people can start coming over here a little bit more comfortably. So what we're seeing is the floodgates open. We're also seeing, this whole work from home is a real possibility. And so what I'm already seeing is I want to come over here for 30, 60, 90 days. We want a 6-month lease because my kids aren't going to go back to school this year. I have figured out how to work from home. Why not do it in Hawaii?
Right.
So across the state, we're seeing a huge influx of longer term rentals.
I think the biggest challenge is flying. If you're in like an area like me, so that am I going to be safe flying? And you guys are in those conversations as well, even though, because again, people are calling you saying, hey, I'm interested in renting. I'm going to come out. What do you think once the travel ban's lifted, what are you hearing from the airline industry and stuff like that about travel and stuff to Hawaii? How they're trying to make it safer? I'm sure you're studying what's happening on that.
Right. Well, the airlines are open. It's not so much that we have a travel ban. We have a visitor quarantine.
Okay.
And so you could come, but you would just have to hang out for 2 weeks in your house, and you can't go anywhere. We need to bring you your food and all your provisions. And so we're suggesting that visitors travel after that. And obviously, it's no fun to hang out in your home for 2 weeks, and it defeats the purpose. But, travel after that, travel when the visitor quarantine is lifted. And the airlines are still flying to all the different islands. There's been some cancellations of direct flights. So for example, from LA, or from let's say San Diego to La Jolla, I believe those might be cancel, but you can still get here. You just have to do a little stop in Honolulu, and then you travel to Kauai or the different islands. But we are expecting that in September, those direct flights will resume.
I still can't fathom, even though I do travel, I can't fathom traveling yet. It's so weird. It's so weird to me. And I know people are starting to, but the number of people, the percentage more and more going on airlines, that is still the thought process. But I think they really are coming up with ideas that it's going to be not that even if you didn't contract the coronavirus, you might not get sick like you used to get sick on flights because of the airlines are changing the way they're doing it.
Right.
So that's going to be exciting. Right. And then more and more people find out we're not getting anything. Then look out, the floodgates. Once everyone feels safe, if they want to go, oh my gosh. I couldn't imagine being a travel agent, Jen, at that time, right? All over the country where people were saying, because all of us are just so tired of being, we want to go somewhere, especially when it's summer.
Right. Even though we live in a vacation state. We have the best beaches of the world here. You know, nothing compares with the majestic of Hawaii. And one of the things I think that's always captivated my imagination, there's a lot of things that captivates my imagination with Hawaii, as you can imagine. But one of them is that there's no bridges. Like we have bridges for all of the Florida Keys. There's no bridges for all of the different islands. Is that?
No.
So
you have to fly inter-island.
You have to fly. And one of the cool things that I think we're going to see coming out of COVID, because a lot of and the reason I'm saying that is because a lot of our flight schools are really getting high numbers in them right now, as a lot of things is going towards private planes and people using that versus commercial. But you guys are already there.
Yeah.
You have
we've actually have had that clientele for many years.
Right. Yeah, you have to be able to do that. And versus hop around.
Right.
What is the furthest miles from one island to the other? Like, can you boat there?
It would be Kauai to Honolulu, and it's a little over 100 miles.
Because it doesn't look like that on the map, does it?
Right.
So we're talking about everything opening back
but it's
up.
it's only a 20-minute flight. It's very fast.
Right. Yeah. But it looks like it's right there. Like you could just
So with everything opening, talk about everything opening back up, and I like your suggestion, come after the the vacation quarantine. Is there a certain time of the year that somebody should look at? I know when I went in November, I was really surprised how windy it is. Like in Maui, it was really, really windy. Is there a certain time of the year that you see people come to do the, rental properties and or look for property there?
To look for rentals or to come stay? What's the best time to come stay?
What's the best time to stay? And then to look for rentals, what's the best time? Like, if it's less crowded during another time?
So we have predominantly a pretty much high season year round. So, the first quarter of the year is going to be our snowbirds, January, February, March, and then we move into spring break, and that's very busy for families. And then there's a bit of a lull in May, and then we get busy again June, July, August for summer. September is another sort of slower season, but October is typically really busy. October is my favorite month. It's just why I think it's beautiful everywhere in October. And it's a wedding season typically in October. We'll see how that changes with COVID. And then November, we start our holidays. So if you were to say when's the slowest season, I would probably say sometime around May or September would be a good time if someone wanted to come out. But what typically happens, and what's my experience in the property management rental division, is that you get renters, these repeat renters year after year after year, and renters are buyers. So that's typically what happens is they come out, whether it's their first time or their 10th time. I've had clients that I've been working with since 2000 and they end up buying property. So a lot of times it happens while they're on vacation or a little seed is planted and they go back home and then they call their real estate agent and they maybe come back for a couple days and look at the property. And we just had something closed that was all done through FaceTime,
Wow.
And that makes it easier to meet with people than before. Because you said when it's busy, it takes time to go from one place to the next, regardless of the island you're on, right? Traveling.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah. Because of so many people or less roads, or what would you say is the big thing that it takes time to travel from place to place?
I wouldn't say it's more the traveling time. It might be that the homes are occupied, and it takes a couple days to give notice to get into them. So during a slower season, it might be a little easier, but there's ways around it. If you were to come during high season and you want to look at real estate, an agent's going to help you. You're going to get into the home. It's not going to be a problem.
I'm thinking the old Brady Bunch, and probably there are a lot more roads built in Hawaii than the Brady Bunch days, where it showed like, even though it was a 70s show, it sounded like the 50s, and you're thinking, thinking of, that's my picture of everything, the Brady Bunch, but that's me.
Yeah.
They're shooting Magnum PI there now. You understand that.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I remember the old Magnum PI, and I interviewed Tom Selleck's co-guy, the other big star of the show, but no, and I wasn't a huge Magnum PI fan, so there you go.
Tom Selleck is still in Hawaii. They're back, not for last season, but they're filming in Hawaii. Whole new, I think they're on 2 or 3 series now for Magnum.
Oh, okay. All right. Anything else to add, Jen or Pearl?
Yeah, I do. What have you most enjoyed about working on the show? Can you give me one gratitude moment?
It's the viewer appreciation. It's a viewer appreciation, and seeing them, really appreciate our lifestyle, and knowing that we're making somebody smile when it's cold or snowing outside, and bringing some cheer to their day because they're able to, envision being here.
Mm-hmm.
So having like a virtual vacation.
Yeah, it is very much a virtual vacation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gotten me through this whole thing. I've been binge watching.
Right.
I'll find myself doing the same thing, knowing they're going to buy the same house or rent it.
Yeah.
What do you think? Can you give us any information on next season? What the viewers can expect, or anything?
New faces, new brokers, new homes. Maybe some new action shots, new activities. We're going to keep doing what we're doing, and we're going to, show you some new parts of the island.
Awesome.
Nice. And is there any crazy houses on the island? I mean, is there been any type of real estate where someone's like, I want to make this insane house?
With like a new build?
Mm-hmm. A new build, or either an old build?
Absolutely. It's happening often, I don't know if those would necessarily be on the show unless they came up for sale, but yeah, definitely. If you were to, take a drive around or walk around, you can see some beautiful architecture.
Oh, that's so neat. Cool. And what other projects do you have coming up?
Right now we're working on obviously the rebuild and what life is going to look like after COVID. We are working on doing another season of Hgtv. We're working on working with different developers on listing their properties, renting their properties. So we have some interesting things coming up that our team has been meeting on, and we're excited to roll out.
Has this opened up any acting gigs for you, or have you wanted to go into acting more? Or I know this isn't acting for you, this is reality, this is real, but has this opened up anything for you, being a part of movies and film?
Gosh, would it make me a bad actress if I said no?
No. What do you want to do? You've got this great opportunity. You really need to think about where you can go from this.
I actually don't consider myself an actress. In fact, after I was on one of the shows, one of my friends from way back on Facebook said, "When did you become an actress?" And I just laughed. I'm not an actress. I'm a real estate broker that happens to be on the show. No, I don't think it's a road I would go down, but hey, if the opportunity presents itself, like I said, I'm a yes person, so we'll see what happens.
Very cool. Well, I hope some really neat things happen for you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Any questions, Pearl?
No, I'm good. This has been a blast. It's been fun getting to know you and,
Thank you.
feeling a little bit of Hawaii. And we have tropical storms here right now in Florida. We've got a tornado warning just popped up. So
No.
we're all good, but it's fun to know that, like you said, the virtual vacation through your eyes and describing it. So I love this.
Yeah.
Gorgeous in Pittsburgh, sunny when it normally is not sunny. I'm looking outside and it's gorgeous, and we don't have that many sunny days in Pittsburgh. So when you hear about people, I'm jealous when they're in Florida, California, Hawaii. No, I'm just in Pittsburgh. Where can we connect with you social media wise for yourself and stuff?
Well, we have a couple Instagrams. It's Hawaii Life, and then we have Hawaii Life Vacations.
Okay. Awesome.
And then we're on Facebook as well, and our website's hawaiilife.com.
Okay. All right. Anything else to add, Jenn?
Thank you so much.
Thank you
for
being
present at this point in time, bringing gratitude to our fans, and just loving and appreciating what you're doing, which is just what you're supposed to do in life. And taking it to another level and having that open up and manifest is pretty cool, I have to say. I'm excited to see where your journey is going to go.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
you guys for taking the time. It's been fun.
Thank you for getting up early.
All right. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I'll say, Matt, you're going to have to get up for part 2 with me sometime, because we have to get the Matt's version of this as well. So.
Yeah.
That's true. I love her. She is so much fun.
She was so cute, and bless her, because she got up at like 4:45 in the morning, and Hawaii time. Remember you and I were talking about that? I'm like, I remember going on vacation in Hawaii, going, I have to call back home, and that was before pager, so literally had to use a phone and go, how many hours is it backwards?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was really great. I'm looking forward to going back to Hawaii sometime. It's great having those connections, and
we're gonna have to make a trip.
Yes, I agree. It would be a blast.
We're going to have to make a trip. We're going to, I'm thinking we're going to have a girls' trip out there for a seminar on gratitude and just blow it out.
Yep, I think it would be really awesome. I think
a networking trip.
Yeah, definitely.
A vacation, basically, we're writing off. But yeah, I wanted Tony Robbins the heck out of that. What a great life.
Yes.
I love Hawaii.
What I found interesting about her was that she didn't really grow up in Hawaii. She grew up in California, but her roots kept pulled her back to Hawaii, and that's where she stayed. Right. I think that's really amazing, because she's like she said, she's one of 5 kids that are still in Hawaii. All her siblings went back to the States. Well, I call the States, but on the California end of everything.
Right, and she went back to her roots, and if she wouldn't have followed that path, where would she be?
Right.
Would she have landed in entertainment, or would she have not?
Yeah, she's right where she's supposed to be.
Everything just happens. Why was she drawn back to it? So like she was completely drawn into doing that. Now she went into being a broker. When you go into real estate, it's pretty dry, no offense.
Yes.
That's a real deal, but it's a pretty dry type of, it's up there with accounting sometimes, and the fun of it is the production side of it, is making that happen and flipping it around. I would love to do something where you and I are on a couch and we're going, I can't believe they're not going for that house. No, I know, the kitchen to get over.
Or you
kitchen.
Or you think they're going to pick one. I think they're going to pick one. They picked the one that neither one of us picked, right?
Right, exactly. And then we win the lay that wins.
Yes, right. It was so awesome. I think today it was awesome. I think her spirit and just how much she loves the love for the island, I think was amazing.
She's a really good person. She is so strong. You can tell she's a very strong woman. She's very humble. She's very grounded, and she's real. And I love that realness being brought out and shown, because you only get so much time on TV.
Right.
To do what you're supposed to do. And this is her life. This is what she does. I mean, she gets up at 4:30 in the morning to get on a podcast, and she probably didn't go to sleep until 11.
Right.
Because you own your own business, and that's
you own your own business. Yep. That's so true.
So
So
she's
awesome.
super dedicated, and we got to go to Hawaii, Pearl.
Yes, we need to go to Hawaii.
Go
Absolutely.
to Hawaii.
Yes. So who we bringing on next? I want to know who we bring on next. We got to travel to there. We're gonna have a very expensive travel budget when we keep bringing these people. We had France a few weeks ago. We have Hawaii. Where are we going next, Jen? Right?
Culture.
Oh.
We're going to Hollywood, baby. Hollywood.
Yep, here we come.
Oh my gosh.
Goodness. Well, this was awesome. It was a great show today. I'm looking forward to everybody hearing from her and checking out Hawaii Life and
Hawaii Life. Oh wait, my flag. Hang on. Dropped. Did you see this?
Yes, the Aloha.
No, I had to get this. I went to Party City when I found out that we were doing this. Like,
That
you
was
had
awesome.
me at Aloha.
I love that. That is so awesome. Very, very cool.
The funny thing is, this time of year in the summer, I've never had a luau. I've always wanted to do one. I always wanted to go to one.
Oh, they're so much fun. We did it both times we visited Hawaii. Yeah.
And I decorate my house like I do Hawaii. I decorate for all seasons, but
Yeah.
I do, which is kind of funny because, I had Hawaiian neighbors. I didn't actually get to go. They're like, I can't even say I've been to Epcot, I can say I've gone to Italy when I've been to Vegas, but I can't go anything further,
Right,
Oh,
right.
been to Venice. Oh, Jen, you're talking about
I've been there.
I've been to the Venetian.
Yeah. The
Hotel.
Venetian, yes. It's so awesome. Oh, this was
I've
a great.
never been to Hawaii, and I've always wanted to go. And Ice-T took Coco to Hawaii to live out her fantasy on the show, the reality show. Ice-T loves Coco.
Right.
I love them, and I love her. And she got to go, and Ice had all of this Brady Bunch. It was exactly from the Brady Bunch. He did the whole thing for her.
Wow, how cool.
I was almost in tears because she was crying, and she's having the luau, and it's beautiful, and he's showering her, and I'm like, man,
that's so sweet. So awesome.
It was
so
pretty cool.
I think it was an awesome show today, and I think the listeners will, and if there are fans that view the show, they're going to find a lot of fun information from her, and then we're just going to have to go to Hawaii Life and call them up and go buy a house with them, right?
A rental. I
want
to do a lot of rentals.
We'll get some rentals.
I want to go around doing rentals. It's easier that way, I think.
Yeah.
And just spend time doing that. Otherwise, I'm going to want to never come back home. I know. I would just want to live there, period.
Oh, we didn't want to leave. When we went there years ago, the second time we went, with the condo we were staying at, it was a three-bedroom condo, and every bedroom had a little. We were on the bottom floor, and every bedroom had a little balcony, and the kitchen we were right by the pool, right by the ocean. It was like, we don't want to leave. We even thought about buying, but it just wasn't the right thing for us at the time. But yeah, it was amazing.
And the culture, I love the culture of family and the heritage and the history that goes with it. It's extraordinary, and it's real. It's not hooey. It's real, and there's nothing like it. You can't. There isn't. It's utterly worldly. I would love to film there. I would just.
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to start my budget for Aurora.
Yeah.
We're in Hawaii now. We keep moving where we're going to be filming the movie. Aloha. Here you go.
Aloha. Thank you. Oh, what a great show. I'm so excited, and I can't wait for our next show that's coming up next week. So we've had a great show today.
I love Hawaii. I love Hawaii Life, and this has just been wonderful, especially on a gloomy day. To have some Hawaii energy is awesome. And thank you all to all of our listeners. We appreciate you being with us for some more moments of gratitude with Pearl and I in the Gratitude Radio Network. Go look at some of our other podcasters that are coming on. We're very happy. If you want to come on with us and join us on our show or be a podcaster, go to gratituderadionetwork.com and fill out the form below. And you can be with us too on the Gratitude Radio Network.
Awesome. I'm so excited. So I am Pearl with Women Successful Living, and I am so honored to be a co-host with Jenn, and I can be found at wsliving.com. Jenn, thank you for being a mother of gratitude and doing this awesome show that we do together.
Awesome. We look forward for you guys being with us next time. Have a beautiful day from your beautiful day. Take care. You are blessed, you are loved, and you are sacred. Mwah.